Fair, he was the superstar.
He was.
He kind of looks like Drew Carey, by the way.
Yeah. He was so brilliant because he was so honest, Nadia. You've watched this and you've
It was like a movie. You had to keep reminding yourself that actually it was a documentary, that all of this really happened.
It's an incredibly made documentary, though, isn't it?
So good.
So
I cannot recommend it highly enough. And it was weird because right at the beginning, all of this is absolutely disgusting. So, like, married people are going on here and looking for, you know, hunting for affairs. But if I'm honest, I went on a bit of a morality roller coaster because I was like, I was swinging from, oh, God, this is just disgusting, to, oh, I don't know, maybe, because a lot of people do have different sexual desires and different sexual appetites. And, you know, if this means that somebody's going to stay together, is there a place for it? But I think what was so interesting about it, showed us the human condition. You had the love's young dream, young couple, and her heart was just so broken when she found out. Then you had the very religious...
well, he was also very religious.
He was very religious. And how she'd known all the way through their marriage that he'd had affairs, but she'd kept this dignified side. So, actually, by the end of it, I was like, you can't just wrap human beings up in a little bundle. Like, you can't just say, oh, let's all write this down. This will work really well. I don't like sex as much as you do, so you just go out and have it, and then we'll just have a nice dinner, and nobody knows. The impact is massive.
But on the flip side of that, there were those that were utterly devastated, but there were couples in it who were incredibly honest with one another. They knew exactly what the other one was doing, and there were certain perimeters within that. They'd say, OK, well, as long as I know where you are that night, I know where you're going, and I know who you're with. There was an honesty where they, this does work for us.
Exactly.
Because I know what you're doing, you want that, and I want this.
Yeah.
But we still come together at the end of the day, which, again, is extraordinary to lots of people.
But
it worked for them. They were both doing it. That's exactly
the thing.
When both sides are doing it.
The honesty
I think
of
a morality roller coaster is a really, really good way, because I was exactly the same as that, because I've admitted 1 million times on this show before, in my previous life, you know, I have been cheated on, and I have also cheated. And again, it's because I think the lady whose husband, sadly, when it was discovered, took his own life, and he was one of quite a few people who did, because he was a pillar of the community. But I think what she said is, we have all sinned. It is very difficult to judge. These people signed up to this because it was supposedly one of the most secure websites in history, and actually they were concentrating on the financial and the fiscal side of it, not on the security side of it. I think there were many people who were terribly sorry, but they were sorry because they'd been found out.
Because they revealed everybody, didn't they?
Everybody. Including the CEO.
Including the CEO, who had gone on the television to proclaim that he was monogamous, but this was a site for people who weren't monogamous, and then had been with everybody in the whole of America. But the thing about it is, the result of this is that, obviously, you know, all of these millions and millions of people had this web leak. Since then, it now has more people signed up to it. That's 70 million since it was discovered that they were...
70 million.
So...
Did you say that's the population of this
population of the United Kingdom? It's like everyone in the United Kingdom being on it.
Well, that's what Jimmy Kimmel said.
We can see you.
He goes like, isn't that like everybody?
It is interesting, that sort of no strings attached thing, though, isn't it? I mean, like we say, it does work for some people, but
you know,
I often find there's one party maybe more into it than the other.
There could be jealousies involved after time, like they think they're cool with it, but then one person actually develops feelings for the other person. And that,
there is absolutely always that risk. I've got a friend whose parents lived their life, and she knows that her dad was unfaithful. The mother probably knew, but just decided that as long as he came home, as long as they could have dinner with Jill and Brian on a... Sorry, Jill and Brian, I'm just putting...
We're Jill and Brian.
Jill and Brian, exactly. You know, some people would just rather know.
Can you really sit and eat your dinner without thinking, what did you do?
This is it,
but not if they find out. Nowadays, I wouldn't be able to literally deal with it. I am so monogamous now. I'm like a different person.
I think that some people can shut the emotions down. We saw it in the documentary, where this is just what I do. It's my little thing. Let's not talk about it. And it clearly works for a lot of people. If 70 million people have carried on being part of this website, it's extraordinary. So go check it out.
There's one in this country as well, if you're looking after, if you're having a scroll.